Well, hey guys, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome back to the Daily Message. Really enjoying these. Hope you're enjoying the short videos too. Please make sure you've subscribed. Hit the little subscribe button wherever you are seeing it. It does make a difference. Hit that notification bell. And I would love it if you could leave a comment. People are leaving more comments every day. So comment on today's episode, share your insights and thoughts. And if there's a topic that you'd like me to cover, please put that in the comments here. What else? I've been training like an idiot again the last few days. I've been doing some crazy stuff. Did a 2-hour training run in the morning and then did a 20-kilo mountain ruck in the afternoon. I got some video of that. Let's do that now. Okay, so it was a 2-hour training run this morning at 4 a.m. for the ultra marathon. And got one of our cars being fixed. It's about 10 kilometers away, 12. So I got this 20-kilo ruck on and just going straight up over the top of the mountain. So it's amazing what your body can actually do. You just start to put the basics in place and just increase it a little bit each day. So yeah, it's been a big day of exercise. Got some time with family tonight. Really looking forward to it. So do not underestimate, my friends, what you are capable of. It's much more than you think. So there you go. Just put 20 kilos in a bag and walk up a hill. It's easy. Anybody can do it. Talk to your healthcare professional first, okay? I don't want to get any emails from lawyers. Today, friends, we're going to talk about a really cool quote from Max Depree, American businessman in the 80s. Wrote a lot of stuff on leadership and business. Interesting guy. And just he's going to help us today think about how we can move forward, the mindsets we need to do. Let's jump into it. This is a cool quote from Max Depree. Let's go. In the end, it's important to remember that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. There is this great mystery in the cosmos that movement and growth and momentum seem to be stitched into the fabric of reality. If you look at the cosmos itself, it is growing, changing, expanding. We are part of that same cosmos. So it seems strange to me that the universe would be growing, developing, changing, moving, and we stay stationary. Now, a little disclaimer, a little caveat I've been mentioning in recent episodes about this tension. Somebody sent me a really good email about it. Nicole, if you're watching, thank you for that message. That how do we balance this tension between gratitude, where we are right now, and being appreciative of the good things that we have? How do we deal with the need for stillness and rest and being present in the moment with this tension of being utterly focused on the future? First thing is, it is a tension, right? There's these two forces that are in reality. I guess the way you think about it is the actual question of balance itself. If you did nothing but sit still in gratitude and that's all you did, would you eventually run out of things to be grateful for? Possibly, but you wouldn't be moving forward. You wouldn't be growing, developing, contributing. But if you did nothing but relentlessly obsess on growth, ambition, goals, dreams, what's most significant to you, then you're going to miss out on a lot of the things that you can be grateful for in the moment. So all I want to say about that is there is a tension there. And what we need to do, I think, is live in both of those worlds as effectively and simultaneously as possible. So I will spend time every day in prayer, in meditation, in stillness. I love quiet. But then when I'm not doing that, I'm going pretty hard at everything else. So that's how I do it. But Max Depree is reminding us today that if we want something different, then we need to become different people. We need to change. We need to grow. And in this short message, what I'm going to suggest is one of the ways we do it is by identifying. That was almost articulating, but it went to identifying. It was identifying. Articulating and identifying the major obstacles in our life. I'm convinced that one of the fastest ways to move forward is not necessarily journaling, goal setting. They have their place, they're important. But what those things do is help us become aware of what's important, what's significant. The fastest way that I'm aware of at the moment in my own journey, and possibly yours, is removing obstacles. If we remove the one or two big things that are holding us back, And I'm convinced that most of us can identify them actually much more quickly than we think. I don't think we need to sit around for too long trying to work them out. We usually know what they are intuitively. Here's a metaphor that I did on the podcast version. Oh, and always the podcast link is under here. So if you want to, I always go deeper on the podcast. I try to keep the videos short, but the podcast version, I go into a bit more depth. So go check that out. The metaphor I gave is, remember when you were a kid, I don't know if you ever did this, but if it was raining heavily and there was a stream of water running somewhere, we used to play in the gutter. Not every day, just when we were in trouble. But and there'd be a rainstorm and there'd be water running through the gutter. And sometimes as kids, we would block that water. You'd build like these dams and the water would back up behind it. And then you remove the obstacle. And all of a sudden, the water rushes forward. It was really cool. I remember a couple of years ago here at my house, we'd been raining heavily for days, and down on the street, these leaves, it must have been the end of autumn, because the leaves had created this big blockage around the stormwater drain. And there was this kind of lake, and cars were going through it, and it was just like, spraying 50 feet in the air. My kids were out there laughing. It was great fun. But I remember getting a shovel and eventually breaking all this mud and leaves out of the way, and there was this massive movement down into the stormwater system. My point is that once you break out the obstacle, all of the tension, all of the energy behind the obstacle gets released. So as Max Depree is telling us, if we want to be different, if we want the future to be different, we need to be different. I'm convinced that removing obstacles is one of the fastest ways to do it. So if you can identify the one or two things in your life at the moment that are significantly holding you back, could be an addiction, could be a habit, could be a habit that's becoming an addiction, could be a belief system. Here's a simple example, right? Like you might have the desire to be, to run a half marathon or to do a 10K run or to lose weight, but if you smoke every day or overeat, then you're not getting there. So if you want to be a different person in the future, a person who, for example, runs 10 kilometers or a person who is, fit and strong and healthy, then you have to remove the obstacle, right? Like you have to remove the smoking or the eating or whatever it is. Can you see that it's just pretty straightforward, right? I didn't say it was easy. I just said, the process is easy, but the implementation is hard. So you've got to accept that there will be difficulty and suffering and pain. Okay, so I don't want to lie to you and say, well, it's just this simple, right? Just you're smoking 2 packs a day, just stop. And then you'll be fine, then you'll get fit. Like, yeah, we can identify it, but the gap between identification and implementation is hard. And what I've learned and what I'm I am the biggest evangelist for this these days is you will not think your way into the right action necessarily. By this I mean, as I've been preaching on this platform for a very long time, feelings follow actions. Feelings follow actions. You get the feeling after you take the action. So the best way I can help you is to say that if there is something you want to change, your brain will try and stop you because your brain's getting some level of comfort from it, right? Your brain is getting some level of comfort, security, nurture from overeating or whatever else we do, right? So you take the action first. Karen, my bride of 22 years, has a foot injury at the moment, and normally she's really active. She walks, she does a lot of exercise, but she's in one of those big boots, those moon boots. And so she's struggling, like she's been really flat and she misses training. And so we had this robust marital discussion a couple of days ago where I was preaching to her like this. And I said, you got to go down to the pool, the swimming pool. We've got a really good local heated swimming pool. You just got to get that boot off and you just got to start swimming because she loves swimming. She grew up with it. It's a real joy for her. And she's going, no, I can't, and this and this and this. And let me just say, I got firm. I got firm with her. I got pretty direct in my communication. And she almost got sent to the naughty corner. And she was like, and she eventually went, and then she starts texting me as she's getting out, and she's like, you're so right, you're brilliant, you're so smart, I feel so incredible. And she was raving about it for the rest of the day. And I kept telling her, I said, darling, like, the feelings follow the actions. You're not going to feel like going to it. It's easier to stay in the house. So I don't want to labor it too much, but let's just wrap this up. Max Depree's quote one more time. In the end, it is important to remember that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. So if you want change, you have to change. How do you change? You identify the biggest obstacle, then you accept that you won't feel like changing it, and then you take action. That's how it works. You've just got to get good at the suffering part. That's the part that you don't want. That's the part that stops everybody. It's just when it hurts, we want to go back to where we were. And that's why most people don't change, because it's easier to stay where you were. It's a comfort zone, right? Easy. Hope that's helpful. Let me know what you think. Put something in the comments. Tell me, share a story. Is there something you're working on at the moment? Are you stuck somewhere? Put in the comments. Let me know what you want me to help with, and I will do an episode on that. Please make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and go check out all the show notes here. Underneath here in the description, you'll get access to my book for free. You can book me to speak. You can get links to the podcast version. It's all there. But for now, identify the blockage, take the action, get it done. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been The Daily Message. You and I are going to talk again tomorrow.